Hey, been a while. Um, may have gone to get some milk. I'm back. In fact, it's been about a year since my last actual Ninlogs upload here. Some things have changed, some have not. Um, but it is what it is. But hey, I'm back now. I uploaded a couple little song things. We're not going to count those. Those aren't very Ninlogs. That was me being creative. Wanted to throw it out. But I've been thinking a lot, a whole lot. And there's a couple things that I've kind of wished I had made a video on for this little channel. Um, and one of those big things is motivation. Uh, Another thing is time, which kind of ties in with motivation, and more because I don't know what else I'm going to talk about. I don't write a script for these. um, let's start off with time. And I want to start this off by saying that no, this is not going to be a motivational video. That's not the purpose of this. However, I do want to share some of my thoughts on, what motivation is, how effective it is, what can motivate you, etc. Um, Not going to be exactly what you expect. But time, very important because obviously we're all going to die. That's fun. Um, But I think there's a lot you need to take into consideration when it comes to time, like friendships. We've all lost friends. I mean, that just happens. People fade away, or maybe you get into an argument or whatever, and it could be a friendship you've had for years, or maybe just someone you just met. Um, and then what do you have left when you lose that friend? Well, you have memories, right? And you want to think about how long will this friendship last? If it ends tomorrow, how much time have I spent with this friend? And I'm just using friends as an example because it's probably my biggest example is like friends and family right now. Um, Not long ago, I kind of started hanging around my mom more often. I realized her hair is graying, like it's turning gray, and that's like when your mom, that's your parent, that's your one generation above you, dog. When their hair starts turning gray, you start thinking, "Oh shit, my mom's gonna be old soon." And I'm not gonna be thinking about, like, this young version of my mom anymore. The mom that I grew up with for, fucking years. Um, Soon she's gonna be old. She's gonna get wrinkles and then, it's gonna come a time several years down the line where she's, like, not as physically capable. She won't be able to get out and do anything as often. It might get to the point where she's not able to go shopping on her own. It might get to the point where I just never see her again. And I think about this a lot because one of the closest people I have in my family is my grandpa. And he's in his 70s. And he's one of the coolest people I know. And obviously, his political takes are kind of bad. But I can look past that because it's my grandpa is one of my biggest inspirations. The reason I kind of am who I am. Um, he's into electronics, music. He's the one that got me into music since a very young age. The first cool thing I ever had in my arms was a guitar. He's the reason I ever had a computer in the first place. He gave me my first laptop. It's like all this cool shit comes from him. And I think about it, most time that I've spent with him in my life has been in the past 5 years, and he's already in his 70s. Um and like I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I don't have much time left with him. Like I'm fully aware of that. And I still call him every week, every 2 weeks. We talk for hours at a time, and I think that's kind of important to do with everyone that you love and care about, because anyone could die at any time. Anyone could stop talking to you at any time, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, lost a friend." But let's be a little more self-centered on this. Think about yourself. And this is a hard one for me because when I think about it factually like this, I am a failure. Like in the past 5 years, I've gone from having a lot of friends to having very few friends that are very close friendships. I've gone through different phases. I've had groups that I've talked to, lost those groups. Now it's like single friends, but I have a lot of those single friends. Um, I've gone through having like a streaming community where there's a streamer we all like that we all talk to, and this is in the reminisce video. Um, and then that kind of community just kind of fades away, and that thing that I really liked is gone. And that could happen with anything. That could be pretty much anything. And in these past 5 years, I am the same person, aside from some mental stuff and some behavior changes. But in terms of my productivity, I'm the exact same person. I never became that streamer I wanted to be. I did it off and on. Never made the videos I wanted to make. There were so many big ideas I wanted to do. Didn't do any of that shit. Maybe a couple here and there. I dabbled in some music, never stuck to it. Um, and that's 5 years, dude. I was thinking about it earlier this year. Like, in December to January of this year. I was thinking, like, of considering joining the military, for example. And I don't think I'm gonna do that. It's still up in the air. But if I had joined the military when I first expected to do it, like 4 or 5 years ago, by now, I would be out of the military, I would have an education, I would have had a job, I would have the experience for a job, um, all these benefits that the military will give you because they have to beg people to join, I would have had those already, yet I'm still here. A little update, since I haven't made a video here, I quit my old job. That place was killing me. I've got a new one, but I'm still working in retail for even less money now, but it's a much better experience. It's not killing me. But yeah, other than that, I'm in the exact same spot. And this is where we're going to transition into the motivation thing. The reason I have failed so much is I relied so much on motivation, which I heard somebody say it. Um, Motivation is just a sugar rush, you know? And the thing that follows a sugar rush is a crash. You get these temporary highs where you're like, oh, I'm so motivated, I'm going to do this thing right now. And then when the motivation's gone, what do? Motivation doesn't help you. It gets you started on some cool shit, and if you can finish a project, like, within your motivated period, you're good. But what if it's a project you need to do over and over and over again? Like, for me, it was streaming, making videos, making music. I'll go through these motivational periods where I start doing this shit. Things will be going great for me. I'm super motivated. I'm gonna join the military and get my life under control. Well, that went away. Now I'm back in, working in retail. Um, It even happens with friendships. I get super motivated. I wanna spend a lot of time with somebody and, like, really strengthen our friendship, and then motivation goes away, and I'm back to being antisocial. So, what's the solution to that? Well, first off, use motivation to your advantage to build habits. When you're in your motivated period, start doing habits and get them locked into your brain. A good one is thinking about brushing your teeth. Hopefully we all do it for the most part. You do that like every morning, every night. You don't even think about it. It's just part of your daily routine. That is a habit that you've built up over years. It's just a thing. Taking showers. That's just a thing. We've done that for years. I mean, taking a shower is a very time-consuming thing, but we do it every day. It's like it's just second nature. We don't even care. We just do that without even thinking about it. It's because we built that habit. And that wasn't based on motivation. Motivation is just a tool to help you build a habit, but let's say your habit is, I don't know, studying for an hour a day. Well, you're gonna be a really fucking smart person if you can manage to do that every day. Or, like, a bad habit's also another example. You're a gamer. You game for fucking 5 hours a day. Probably a minimum for a lot of people. You just do that shit. You don't even think about it. You just do it because that's the thing you know. That's your habit. Um, Building habits helps a ton. Uh, and motivation can help start those habits, kickstart them. You just got to keep up with the habits. But motivation is just kind of a falsity on its own. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to say it. What you're really looking for is drive. Um, you can be motivated to do something, and you'll do that thing, but then motivation will go away. Drive is more so, I want to do this thing with my life, so I'm gonna do what I need to do in order to get to that place. And you do that shit when you're not feeling good, you do that shit when you are feeling good, it doesn't matter. You find a way to do that shit. And I think of a lot of people that have drive, and some of them have drive for interesting reasons. Like my friend Toyu, he knows that he's gonna starve to death if he doesn't make another YouTube video, and he is very driven. He's fucking learned game development. Before then, he learned how to make Minecraft mods. He does this shit for the video so he can fucking eat food because I'm not gonna express what his goals are because I'm not him, but in my head, it's like he wants to be able to make this thing his job, and I do know that he wants to do something further past that, and I don't know if he's really revealed that, so I'm not gonna say it. Um, but like he really wants to do that, and he's got the drive to get him to that point. And I have a goal that I really want to achieve. I just haven't found a way to capture that drive. I've got I know exactly what my goal in life is. I want to be in front of an audience of people up on a stage, whether this be a virtual stage or a real life stage. I haven't, it doesn't matter to me. And I want to make the most people I possibly can laugh at the same time. And that is just such a thing that it's like, yes, it's self-centered. Yes, that's very narcissistic of me to want to be the center of attention. Sure. That is my goal in life. That is what I want to do. That is the thing that gets me the most excited. That's what keeps me up at night when I start thinking about it before I go to sleep because I'm ADHD as shit. You know? Um, but I haven't figured out how to grasp that that drive, you know? As soon as I figure that out, I'll let you know. But I think a lot of it's self-discipline. Realizing that we kind of live in an age where we have distractions left and right. Everybody has a phone. Um, and another thing I heard somebody say, this is mostly all from the same video. I watched it just before I made or started recording this. Your phone is a tool. Uh, don't treat it as a toy. It's very easy to open your phone, open TikTok, and scroll that shit for hours. And the same thing applies to a computer. And this is my bane, my vice, if you will. I turn on my computer. I don't play games very much anymore, so I don't even have that productivity on my side. Not that it's productive at all. I open YouTube and I watch that shit from sunrise to sundown, dog. Except I don't wake up early enough for the sunrise. You get the point. It's currently 2 a.m. I've been watching YouTube since I woke up this morning. So that's 12 hours. No, it's actually 14 hours. I woke up at noon, but you get the point. Yeah, motivation, in summary, that's not the thing you're looking for. You're looking for drive. So figure out ways to capture that drive. And self-discipline yourself. If you have any way to learn self-discipline whatsoever, that is my advice to you. And it's an advice that I want to take for myself. And now I want to talk about my productivity and what it feels like. And you know what? We'll talk a bit about depression as well. Let me add this to the title because depression's another interesting thing that I want to, it's just, I'm gonna have to change everything here. It just looks crazy. Okay, but depression's an interesting one because it is a self-enforcing loop. Depression likes to make yourself more depressed. And, I think it's pretty common sense. When we're depressed, we want something to relate to, so a lot of times we'll listen to depressing music, which then keeps us more depressed. That's the first loop I ever discovered in the depression loop. And most of what I know about it is kind of self-taught, so take it all with a grain of salt. But how do you get out of depression? And this is no, one cure for depression or whatever, but it's a very good way to make yourself feel pretty good and feel good about yourself, and it's productivity. Depression makes you not want to be productive. It makes you very sad and very lack of energy, you know? I think just forcing yourself through that, while also taking care of yourself, make sure you've given yourself time to think and talk to people, etc., etc. Be productive. Number one thing, when you're productive and you're doing cool shit and you can feel good about yourself, you just feel better. That's one tip. The other one I always go back to is something I heard from Jerma. no, like, do small shit for other people that's, like, good. It means a lot to them, and when you make other people happy, it in turn makes you happy, unless you're, like, a psychopath, I guess. It makes me happy, and I'm pretty sure I'm, like, a psychopath in a way, but, you know, it is what it is. So do those couple of things, which these might be very, centered to who I am as a person. You know, like I said, the thing I care about most is making people laugh because that makes me happy. My productivity is because I have a goal that I really want to achieve. So when I'm productive and getting towards that goal, it makes me really inspired. Um, eh, I don't know. But then again, those motivational periods kind of go away and I fall back out of it. And then coincidentally, I get depressed. Crazy how that works. Um, but yeah, depression can get killed very easily by being productive. You know, so take control of your time, manage your time better. Don't rely solely on motivation. Find your drive and focus on that. By doing those two things, you're going to help your depression quite a lot. And when you're not depressed, you're going to be more motivated. Or I don't know what the word is. You're not going to feel a shit. You might actually do shit. And then that in turn, that's going to help the depression as well. Bada bing, bada boom. You might be somebody someday. Before your time runs out, you know, whatever. We always talk about like yearly things we're gonna do for New Year's resolutions. We've all come to the conclusion that those are stupid. I like making goals for myself, and if I hit those goals within a year, that's fucking awesome. I can feel good about that. But those goals will carry over. It's like these aren't things with a deadline. It's not something I gotta do every day of the year. They're like goals that I want to be able to say that I did. Like, I want to host a game show this year, and I'm going to do that before the end of this year because that would be a very cool thing to mark off of my little bingo card I made. Um, you know, my 2025 bingo. But even if I don't finish it in 2025, which I really fucking hope I do, it's only February. Um, I'm still gonna do that. You know, that's just something I really care about doing. Wouldn't care so much about like losing weight, going to the gym, being active. Those are things other people can care about. I know that I am my mind and my brain, and I don't give a shit what my body is. If I could make the choice, I would suck myself into my little. I mean, I would suck my own little dick off first, but then I would suck myself into my computer and live my life as Nin in a little virtual world. I'm separate from my body. I am my mind, dog. But everybody's different. So you can just find what motivates you and say fuck you to that because we just had a whole talk about how motivation is bad. It's not bad. It's actually good, but it's not reliable. Find your goal in life and then really just focus on the things that you got to do to reach that goal in life and discipline yourself to make yourself get there. And stop being depressed. What are you doing, fucking loser? Don't be depressed. I don't remember how I used to say goodbye on these things. Been a while. But thanks for watching. Sorry for disappearing for a while. I'm probably gonna do it again. Um, oh yeah, I didn't even tell you about my product. I learned how to use Blender, and I found a program that lets me have like a little virtual room for my streams and shit. Pretty cool. I learned both of those in 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks. Blender was fucking easy to learn. I didn't expect that. Anyways, good luck out there. You're cute. Love you. Bye.